Okay, in this video I just wanted to talk about Panasonic Lumix volume shooting, and it's a bit of a bizarre one because basically this is a video that got released on the Lumix USA website, and they clearly didn't mean to release it. It was obviously an accident, but being me, whenever I see a new video come up, I just clicked on it and I watched it. And, there are other people that have seen this. It's not just me going crazy, I'm sure. It said that, that there had been like 10, 20 other people that watched it. But it's basically a video that was about what they called volume shooting. And it was a Lumix ambassador kind of saying that, for volume shooting, and by volume shooting they mean basically shooting the same thing many times. So if you're shooting, doing headshots for, I guess, a company, or if you're doing school photos, that type of thing, so it's essentially lots of the same shot but with different people. And they were kind of showing like a workflow for how they do this, and it's all new stuff that I've never seen before. And you might say to me, it's volume shooting, we've had that for ages, but I've never seen any of these things in the camera, and I think they must have leaked stuff that's actually coming in a new firmware update. Essentially what it was, there's no mention of it here anymore. It sort of came on and disappeared, but if I kind of run you through what it actually was about, I mean, I even saved the video link so I could go back and watch it, and obviously it's been made private now, so it's just not there at all. They essentially, like I say, they were talking about this sort of concept of volume shooting, and then in the video, I'm sure I only got to see it once because obviously they've blocked it, but basically the person in it, I'm sure they were using an S5 Mark II, and then they're talking about this sort of process where basically people come in and everyone's got a card with a barcode on it, and each person gets handed out their barcode essentially, and then she's taking the photos of each person. As each person has their photo shot, she takes their barcode and she scans it. And again, I can't remember entirely what she called the scanner. She either said it was like an octagon scanner or an opticon scanner. It was basically like a little tiny Bluetooth handheld scanner, and she's scanning these barcodes with it. And then on the camera, there's metadata coming up that relates to the barcode. So as she's doing it, she's actually writing straight to these images that she's just taken. And like I say, it looked like it was just done like Bluetooth straight from the scanner. And then the other thing that, I've never heard of that before, being able to scan and add metadata in that way anyway, not that I've seen. But the other thing was they also had this overlay thing that it was a bit like sheer overlay, which, I'll link to that up in the corner. Like, sheer overlay is a thing. You can take a photo, you can have that as an overlay that's semi-transparent, so you can match up shots and frames. But this was like a whole other thing where it had like coloured shapes on it. It was kind of like frame markers, but completely custom frame markers, or completely custom sheer overlay where you kind of say, this is where their head goes, and there was like a body part to it, but it was all marked out with like thick, chunky kind of colours. And yeah, I was just kind of like, what what is that? That's obviously got to be like a new thing that's being added. And I kind of had a look in the firmware updates, and there's been recent firmware updates for loads of stuff. But because they were talking about full frame, I kind of jumped into there. There's nothing really in Micro Four Thirds that have come out. There have been recent ones in full frame for a lot of the S line cameras, the S1. But really all it is just updates for the macro lens. So there's nothing really in there as additional features. And like I say, I think, I might be wrong saying it, but I think they were using an S5 Mark II. But yeah, essentially they had this whole thing where they could do like these overlays and you could match frames, as well as this sort of Bluetooth barcode scanning system that, I've never seen before. It's just like a totally new thing to me anyway that I've not seen. So I kind of feel like, in the very near future, I mean, this looked like quite a polished video that someone had clearly uploaded. They were supposed to schedule it, and I think they just hit publish by accident. So in the very near future, I think we're going to be getting some new firmware in. and potentially some new hardware that can be linked up to the camera. So like these kind of scanners where you can do these photos in bulk, and as you're taking them, you can sort of scan this metadata into the images. And, you know, that's a really nice kind of feature, I think. You know, that would be really useful. And certainly if you wouldn't use that side of it, the barcode kind of scanning side, these kind of custom overlays, like I really, really want something like that. That is, I've tried to do it with shear overlay, like go in, create custom ones in shear overlay, and essentially all you end up with is a corrupt image. So it's not doable, but you know, you can more or less get what you want in shear overlay. But to be able to do your own custom markers and things in there, that would be really useful, you know, just to be able to kind of like frame up bulk shots and things. So yeah, it was a bit of an interesting one. You know, I don't know if anybody knows about this or they've heard about this, or you know, if it's been a thing in the past on other cameras. It's certainly something I've never seen before, but yeah, it's other people must have seen this video. It can't just have been me. You know, everyone that's subscribed would have been pinged the notification for this. It's just whether people saw it before it got deleted, I guess. But I just kind of wanted to like talk about it and see if anybody kind of knew what this was and what's kind of like coming down the line with it, because again, I can't remember like the exact wording and things of it, but they sort of said, you know, this works across all of our like main photo cameras. And you know, I've never seen anything like it. So I don't know if this was planned for, you know, the firmware update comes along, it's all there ready for people to use. And then it's kind of like they release this video as a bit of a, you know, this is how it works type thing. But yeah, so, I mean, off the back of that, again, I don't know any more than anybody else, but I would be expecting some new firmware to be coming pretty soon if this thing is a feature that's coming like in the near future. Certainly, like I say, for the S series cameras, I think it should be, you know, coming down the line fairly soon. But yeah, if you've got anything you know about it, or if you saw the video, I'd be interested if you know, sort of mention in the comments. And it's yeah, like I say, a bit of a weird video, but yeah, that's about it really. And, you know, I'll be keeping an eye on sort of what's going on with it. And I always keep an eye on kind of firmware updates and what's kind of going on with the cameras. But yeah, you know, if you want to kind of keep up to date with what's going on with this, feel free to kind of sub to the channel. And whenever I see something again, I think I'll be doing another video about it, because it's quite interesting to me to see it. You know, I thought it was quite a nice, innovative kind of, you know, kind of functionality to come to the camera. So it's definitely something I'll be keeping my eye on. And yeah, I'm hoping other people did see it and it wasn't just me, or I am going slightly crazy.